Hey there, fellow explorers of the unknown. Welcome to our channel where the line between the real and the unexplained gets blurrier than a ghost trying to take a selfie. Today, we're diving headfirst into the mysterious world of the paranormal. Now, I gotta warn you though, folks, this ain't Ghostbusters. We're dealing with forces we don't fully understand, so, as always, viewer discretion is advised. We're not responsible for any demonic possessions or unwanted roommates from beyond the veil. We're going full DIY paranormal. That's right, we're talking about 7 spine-tingling experiments you can try at home without needing to raid your local Ghostbusters supply closet. So dim the lights, grab your EMF reader, or a flashlight will do, and get ready to explore the shadowy corners of your own home. All right, let's kick things off with a classic, the Ouija board. Now I know what you're thinking. Shane, isn't that thing a one-way ticket to a haunted house party? And you're not wrong. The Ouija board is shrouded in mystery and more than a few urban legends, but hey, at its core, it's just a board with letters on it, right? Look, I'm not saying you're going to summon a demon lord or anything, but it's best to treat this experiment with respect. First things first, you can easily make your own Ouija board. Just grab a piece of paper, write out the letters of the alphabet, the numbers 0 to 9, and the words yes and no. You'll also need a planchette, which is just a fancy word for a small movable object. A shot glass works perfectly. Now, find a quiet spot, dim the lights, ambience people, and gather your bravest friends, or don't. Solo seances are totally a thing. Place your fingers lightly on the planchette and focus your energy on the board. When you're ready, ask your question clearly and respectfully. If you're lucky, the planchette will start to move, slowly gliding across the board to spell out an answer. But here's the deal, folks. Sometimes the planchette moves and nothing's there. Either way, when you're done, be sure to say goodbye clearly and firmly. Next up, we're going full-on ghost hunters with some EVP recording. EVP, or electronic voice phenomenon, is basically the audio equivalent of finding a spooky face in an old photograph. It's all about capturing those faint, often distorted voices that might just belong to, well, the best part is all you need is a simple voice recorder. Your phone, a tape recorder, anything that can capture sound will do the trick. Find a spot in your house where you think there might be some, shall we say, residual energy. Maybe it's your grandma's old room, the attic where you keep finding weird dolls, or, your basement. Once you've found your haunted hotspot, hit record and start asking questions. Be clear, be concise, and try not to sound too scared. It's harder than it sounds, trust me. Ask things like, is anyone here? Or, can you tell us your name? You can even get specific, like, are you the one who keeps hiding my keys? After a few minutes of questioning, stop the recording and listen back. You might hear faint whispers, disembodied voices, or even clear responses hidden within the white noise. Keep experimenting, try different locations, and see what you can find lurking beneath the surface of the silence. Or maybe it's just your neighbor's dog barking. All right, folks, if you're ready to tune into the spirit world, then grab a radio because we're about to get our spirit box on. This one's a bit like EVP's more chaotic cousin. See, a spirit box rapidly scans radio frequencies, creating this jumbled mess of sound. The theory is that spirits can manipulate these frequencies to form words and communicate with us. It's like a spooky radio station broadcasting straight from the other side. Now you can find spirit box apps online, or if you're feeling old school, use an actual radio. Just set it to scan AM or shortwave frequencies. Once you've got your spirit box set up, it's time to start asking your questions. And remember, clarity is key here. Listen closely to the jumbled words and phrases that come through. Do you hear any names, dates, maybe even a cryptic message about that missing sock you've been looking for? Some people believe that spirits can manipulate the white noise and static to form words, while others think it's our own brains trying to find patterns in the chaos. Whatever the explanation, spirit box sessions can be a wild ride. Chapter 4, Pendulum Dowsing. It's not just for finding water anymore. Let's dial down the spooky static for a moment and try something a little more, shall we say, elegant. Pendulum dowsing, my friends. It's not just for finding water or lost treasure anymore. This ancient practice can also be used to tap into that invisible world we've been exploring. Now, a pendulum is basically just a weight on a string or chain. You can find fancy ones online, but honestly, a necklace or even a key on a thread will do the trick. Hold the pendulum loosely in your dominant hand. Let it dangle freely and clear your mind. Before you start asking questions, you need to establish the pendulum's language. Ask it to show you yes by swinging back and forth, then ask it to show you no by swinging side to side. Once you've got your answers down, you're ready to start asking the real questions. Focus on your question, visualize the answer, and watch how the pendulum responds. Whatever the explanation, pendulum dowsing can be a fascinating way to explore your intuition and maybe, just maybe, get some answers from beyond the veil. All right, fellow ghost hunters, let's talk about protection. Because when you're dealing with the paranormal, it's always better to be safe than sorry. And that's where salt circles come in. Think of a salt circle as a spiritual safe space, a way to create a barrier between you and any unwanted guests from the other side. It's like putting up a no solicitors sign for ghosts. Now, salt has been used for centuries in various cultures for purification and protection. It's believed to absorb negative energy and ward off evil spirits. So how do you create your own ghost-repelling force field? It's easier than you might think. Grab some regular table salt, the kind you probably used to overseason your dinner last night. Find a spot where you'll be conducting your paranormal investigation and pour a continuous circle of salt around the area. No breaks, folks. You don't want to leave any gaps for uninvited entities to slip through. As you're pouring the salt, visualize it creating a protective barrier, sealing off the space from any negative energies. And hey, even if it's just a placebo effect, who am I to argue with peace of mind? All right, brave viewers, are you ready to face your fears? Literally? Because for this next experiment, we're going old school with a little mirror gazing. Now, I'm not talking about checking for spinach in your teeth. We're talking about staring deep into the reflective abyss and seeing who or what stares back. Mirror gazing or scrying has been practiced for centuries as a way to communicate with spirits, see into the future, or even catch a glimpse of one's own soul. But be warned, it's not for the faint of heart. Here's what you do, if you dare. Find a quiet room, dim the lights. Are you sensing a theme here? And grab a mirror. It can be a small hand mirror or a large wall mirror, whatever you feel comfortable with. Sit or stand facing the mirror and take a few deep breaths to calm your mind. Now here's the tricky part. Stare into the mirror without blinking. Focus on your reflection, but let your gaze soften. As you gaze into the mirror, you might start to notice strange things happening. Your reflection might distort, the background might shift, or you might see fleeting images or faces. Whatever the explanation, mirror gazing can be a powerful and often unsettling experience. All right, for our final paranormal experiment, we're going to let the spirits do the talking, or at least the writing, with a little automatic writing. Now, before you dismiss this as just some spooky parlor trick, hear me out. Automatic writing is like channeling your inner Ouija board. But instead of moving a planchette, you're letting your hand do the talking. It's like giving your hand a direct line to the spirit world, which, depending on your perspective, is either really cool or totally terrifying. Here's the deal. Grab a pen and paper, find a comfortable spot and dim the lights. Surprise. Relax your body, clear your mind, and try to quiet those pesky inner voices. Now place the pen on the paper and let your hand hover over it. Don't grip the pen too tightly, just let it rest lightly in your fingers. Focus your intention on connecting with the other side. You can ask a specific question or simply open yourself up to whatever messages might come through. As you focus, you might feel a tingling sensation in your hand, or you might notice your hand starting to move on its own. Don't resist it, just let it flow. The writing might start out as scribbles or random letters, but gradually it might form into words, sentences, or even entire paragraphs. It's a way to tap into the unknown, to explore the hidden depths of our own minds, and maybe, just maybe, connect with something beyond our understanding. Well, there you have it, folks. 7 paranormal experiments you can try at home without the need for fancy equipment or a team of professional ghostbusters. Just remember, the paranormal world is a mysterious and often unpredictable place. Approach these experiments with respect an open mind, and maybe a nightlight or two, and you never know what you might encounter. If you're brave enough to try any of these experiments, share your experiences in the comments below. Who knows, maybe you'll capture some compelling evidence, have a spooky encounter, or maybe you'll just end up with a really weird story to tell at parties. Until next time, keep those lights on, or don't, I'm not your mom. Stay curious and remember the truth is out there, or maybe it's just the wind.